Ooh, hello there, my fellow miners and crafters. GoodTimesWithScar here, and welcome back to the wonderful worlds of Hermits and Crafting. And we're flying through Scarlandia, getting ready to start another project here in the city. But looking out over this place, it makes me happy. Every episode we start out with seeing all the amazing things we have built together. And I always thank you guys for joining me along with this massive project and helping me along the way create this. And yeah, like I said, it always makes me super happy to fly through here and see all the crazy things we have built. But in the last episode, I heard you loud and clear in the YouTube comments, and that was Scar. You built a fire station, but you didn't build any fire trucks. What are you doing? Well, my friends, I've got you. Don't worry. We're going to be building some amazing vehicles today, which is going to be really fun. Now, I've been working in a creative world, just tinkering about with different designs of vehicles. Vehicles are very difficult for me because I never quite seem to get them very easily. It takes me a long time to refine the design. And of course, there's our police van with our cat driving and the creepers in the back. I think that one came out okay. It's kind of a futuristic police vehicle of some kind, but today we're going to be making very realistic fire trucks, and I think they're going to be really awesome. So what we're going to be doing is potentially, maybe this might be really fun, is take out one of these doors and make it look like it's open, and inside here we're going to build a fire truck, kind of a smaller, more of like a truck vehicle, like a truck, you know, that just kind of transports back and forth. So that'll go in there, and we'll build up a beautiful driveway. Now, sadly, we're going to have to take down some of the trees. Rip trees. You know, you put so much work into these things, and we're gonna have to take out two, I think. I was hoping to avoid taking out more than that, but I think we're gonna be good, because if we start the driveway right here, we should be able to just make it past this tree, and we'll save this one. So that's good. And I think we're gonna have to take this one out, this one, and then I think we could leave this guy, and we're gonna sadly probably have to take this one out, but that's okay. As long as we can save a few of them, then I will be perfectly happy. But then down on the roads, this is where things light up. So we're gonna be building another fire truck right here. So think of this one as a very standard fire truck. So if you think of one that rolls around, it's got, you know, the pumps on one side, it's got some hoses in the back. Very standard fire truck, and I think that's going to look really cool right there. But the big one, this is the big one. This is the ladder truck. So this maybe is the flagship, maybe. We could call it that if we want to, maybe. That one is going to go right here. So this is kind of a blank strip of the road, because of course it butts up right against the spaceport. So this is going to be where the ladder truck goes. So it's going to have a giant ladder on top of it, and it's going to be amazing. I cannot wait to add these trucks here. I know there were some really good comments of potentially adding more of like drone style fire trucks, because that's very like futuristic in design, because of course there's our futuristic city here. I like that. We're not going to work on those today, but I'm going to play around a little bit with those and potentially put those in the air, because we definitely need more things in the air flying around. And I don't know, this fire design is going to be really fun today, because my entire life I've been surrounded by the fire industry. So I think it's going to be really cool to do it. And we have not looked at CubFan's amazing redstone creation here in Scarlandia for a few weeks. So we got to watch that thing just appear out of nowhere. The Scar Shield of Awesomeness. There we go. So give me a few minutes, my friends. Let me grab some supplies together, get everything ready to go, because I'm really excited about these fire trucks. So hit that like button. Let's get this episode underway. I know, my friends, I forgot to fix the door once again. You know, put the windows back, put the cyan barriers across there. But I do have a question for you guys. Can redstone melt ice? Because I still don't quite understand how the original window up there during the catastrophe that did occur that destroyed this door in the original instance, the ice up there melted, and I don't know why, because I know there's some redstone, you know, some red ropes up there. There's a few other torches and things along those lines. So can redstone melt ice? I don't actually know that question, so I'm gonna put that out for you guys to tell me. So I might, if you tell me it does, then I might just go with cyan glass across there and not go with ice, because like I said, I don't know how. Maybe the pistons got crazy and pulled down a glowstone block where it wasn't supposed to be. That's also a potential idea. So I don't know. Let me know, guys, for sure. And yeah, let me go grab those supplies and we'll work on our first fire station. Welcome back, and it is finally time to build. And the first thing we're going to work on is a vehicle. I was going to work on the driveway just to kind of set the stage, but come on, we've got to build our first fire truck because that sounds amazing. And right here is our starting point for our ladder truck. Now, this is the best location. I've tried a couple other areas. This is the best one because there is not going to be a fire, not a fire station, but there's not going to be another skyscraper here attached to the road. So this is going to be kind of the visual interest for the lower areas. And yeah, I think this is going to be amazing. So these are our materials. We've got our reds, we've got our whites, we've got our grays, and all sorts of other things. And let's jump right on in. So this project has been really fun. And I'll tell you why, because as a kid growing up, my dad was like a fire salesman. So he sold fire equipment and then taught firefighters then how to use it. You know, jaws of life, fire nozzles, turnout coats, all the things. So when we were growing up, we had all this stuff in our garage. And when my dad used to pick us up, you know, from swim practice, he would have, you know, all that stuff, of course, in his car because, you know, he'd be driving 300 plus miles a day, you know, going back and forth to all the different departments and this, that, and the other thing. And yeah, it was just kind of fun thinking about all these different things because, say, for Halloween, we didn't have, you know, like a, you know, costume from some kind of store. No, we had the real thing, and a real thing for like a real size like person or, you know, a grown human. Whereas I was like 8 or 6 or something like that. And I would have these giant like globe turnouts on, and, you know, you put your arm down and the sleeve goes like a foot past your fingers. And, but it was amazing. You had these, you know, really heavy like fire helmet on. You were just kind of rocking around being like, it's a real helmet. Oh man, I can just remember young Scar going around just so excited, having real fire stuff on, and oh man, it was just really fun. I guess if we ever had a fire in the neighborhood, I guess we could have distinguished it, if you will, in his car. The odd man, that the person, whoever didn't get out of the locker room fast enough, had to ride in the back with all the stuff. So there was a lot of like binders. This was, you know, pre-laptop cell phones, or they had cell phones, but they didn't have, you know, a smartphone of today. So all like the literature and everything along those lines was always, you know, paper formed, and there would just be all this stuff back there. So you'd be sitting on top of like a TFT fire nozzle. What were those called? Task Force tips, I think. Yeah. And then, you know, there might be a jaws of light that rolls onto your leg, and it's like, oh, it was just, I don't know. It was just fun thinking about this stuff while building this fire truck. I definitely remember when I was very young. I was very young. And my dad was practicing with his jaws of life to like learn how to use it in our backyard, just tearing apart some steel and all this stuff. That was really cool. And a little bit later in life, when I was a little bit older, he would take us to like extrication demos. So that would be where they were teaching, you know, a fire department how to use these things. So that was really cool in itself, where you're getting to, you know, learn and see how all this stuff works. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to back this piece off, and I'm going to pull this one upwards. But yeah, I don't know. It was just a fun kind of experience. Maybe some of you guys out there are firefighters or know what I'm talking about. But yeah, it was just, it was fun. It was really fun to think about all that stuff. There we go. I'm going to put this down like so. I'll tell you, one of the best memories was this. We had our bikes, right? And my dad one time had this case, and you open it up, and there was these red, blue, yellow, white lights in it. And these things were magnetized, and then they had like, you know, like batteries in it. You just stuck them on the side of your bike. And at night, you were running around with your bike with the little flashing red and white lights on the sides. Oh, it was so cool. I always wanted him to have those again, but he never had those things back. Just that one time, maybe because we all took them and we were riding them around and putting them on the sides of our cars. You know, we had a lot of fun as kids. And but yeah, that was one of the really cool memories. Another one would be the time that they invented thermal imaging cameras and they started selling them to fire departments. These things were like $50,000, and they blew my mind because you would take them, and when you were walking, you leave footprints, and you could see these things like through your house, or maybe you take your hand and you wipe it across a wall, and you leave a little fingerprint behind of your heat signature. Dude, it was so cool. I just really remember that, how fun that was as a kid. There we go. Let's put that. Oh, let's put this one there. There we go. So like I said before, these fire trucks are more American in style in the front portion of them. The further we get back, especially on this ladder truck, it's going to become a little bit more European. And it's kind of fun to think about all the different kinds of fire trucks throughout the world, as they're all vastly different. And I think in a way, our fire station over there is a little bit Japanese influenced. They have some amazing modern fire stations there. Like, these things are like modern works of art. Really cool. Kind of inspired a lot of that design. So I think this is fairly good in terms of how I want it. Let me do a couple little tweaks to this top portion. It's a little too flat for my liking, so I might take this out and maybe somehow incorporate a siren into this. So let me work on that for a second. How is that looking so far? I think this design could potentially be some kind of a semi-truck in a way. Just with a few little modifications, put on a big, trailer on the back, and there you go. This could double as a few other things. So I think the front is doing, it's doing okay. I think there's some modifications that we could make, and of course we're gonna add lights and all that stuff to it. But and it needs wheels, by the way. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. But we got a few other things to do along the way. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to start working on the pumps. All the little things that the hose is attached to and different things like that. So we've got that down. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take out a little bit of red, and I'm going to bring this down about 3 blocks like so, and then run that up the top. And something I've been talking about in videos a lot lately, and it's something that I just need to stop doing, is talking. And not talking in the way of commentary, talking about stuff that I want to do and not actually doing it. And I think that is something that I am kind of tired of doing, because there's a lot of things that I want to do. And, sometimes when you're thinking of things and you're worried like, oh, is that going to be right for the channel? Or if that's going to be this or it's going to be that. And you know what? I'm kind of tired of that, because I've been hemming and hawing a lot about the creative series. And I really just decided recently that I'm just gonna stop wondering and thinking about it. I'm just gonna do it. And I think that's something that you got to do, because you can think and wonder about many different things, but sometimes you've just got to do, because you'll never know if you don't just do it. It's like, you might have a dream, right? Let me count this out real quick. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I think I'm going to do this other section on the back, because if I want to do 2 wheels on this section, I'm going to need a little bit more room that way. So we might extend this out a little bit more. But yeah, like I was saying, is that, you always wonder, right? Everyone's got dreams and stuff like that. And dreams are just absolutely worthless. Like, in a way, they absolutely are, if you're not actually willing to put in the work or actually see and try different things, right? Like, you could dream and do all this stuff. Like, dreams are just absolutely worthless if you're not willing to put in the work and actually do it. Now, dreams are amazing if you do that, because it's great to dream and wonder and all that stuff. But in the end, you just got to execute it, right? You just got to go for it. You got to attack it. And we're not doing that with the creative series. And I don't like that. Like, I'm tired of talking about it and not actually doing it. So I need you guys got to hold me accountable. You got to be like, Scar, I noticed the creative series hasn't been done yet. I've been looking forward to it, and you need to get on it, okay? So you guys gotta keep me honest, all right? So that's the back section of the fire truck. I think it's looking decent. From this portion here, that's where the ladder is gonna go, and it's gonna outstretch over the front. So I think the shape is starting to look pretty cool. There's definitely a few little details that I still want to establish. We don't have any ladders, but I'm gonna run some ladders across here. And for the wheels, we're actually gonna be using these shulker boxes, except I need to dye them gray. So wait, or should I dye them another color? Should they be black? Oh, yes, they should be black. That would be really cool. Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna put those guys right there, those shulker boxes on their sides, and they're gonna be, angling this way. And they have a really cool pattern. I think sometimes shulker boxes are overlooked for how kind of unique and interesting they are for building. And I think I wanna incorporate more of them. Of course, they're difficult to achieve. They're very rare. And I think that's a reason why they're not used for building very much. But we've used them for building, like for our stoplights, and they came out pretty awesome. So yeah, let me dye those and get those ready to go for installation into our truck. But look at this. This thing is coming up pretty sweet. Welcome back, and we've got our trapdoors as the ladder now here with the fire truck. So I think this is a better design. You can see the light through the little holes of it, and that gives it a little bit more of a ladder feel to it. You know, the half slabs looked nice, but especially from above, it got to be a little bit much. It covered up a lot of the fire truck. So I think that's a good addition to it. It's got a little hose on the top. And I consider maybe taking gray shulker boxes and putting those across there instead of the slab. So we may do that eventually. And of course, I've added the lights on the sides, a little bit of redstone block on the top for a siren. And in the back here with this little kind of portion of it, maybe this is what makes the ladder turn and extend and different things along those lines. I might change it up a little bit. Another place where I might add shulker boxes like gray ones. The reason being is that they kind of look like gears and little mechanisms that turn. So, well, actually they do turn. So they do turn to open. So yeah, I might take gray ones and replace that top level with that. So I think that might look pretty cool, but I need to check on how many shulker boxes I have because we still have some more tires to make on our other fire trucks. But guys, what do you think of this? I think it came out pretty well. Of course, I'm not the greatest at vehicle building, but I think for my skill level, I think that came out nice. And I especially like the ladder on top. So we need to grab our supplies and move on now because we will be, hopefully, nope. If I can fly, we will be. There we go. We'll be moving on to our next fire truck and of course, our work on the fire station for the driveway. I may or may not be looking forward to opening this area up and going inside. Wow, that is the least amount of mobs I've seen in a very long time in there. This might be our opportunity. So we'll be building out the driveway here, and I don't want this to just be a massive piece of concrete that just goes out. We've got to think of design details to incorporate into it so it, you know, gives it some character. Potentially take the vehicle that I was thinking about building inside and putting it right here might break up the driveway a little bit for design. Hello there, Bub, the creeper building inspector. He's measuring that window, making sure it's up the coat. And also we got to work on the entrance here. As for our other fire truck, I think it's going to go right in this section here. It'll kind of, you know, jazz up this area. This part's a little bit boring right here. I don't want it to be in front of the CDF, so I think this is our best location. Maybe, just maybe, we could do it here or even on this side over here, just to kind of give this area a little bit more detail. So yeah, let me think about that. That might actually be a good idea because we already have a vehicle on this road. What if it was right here, waiting to go straight and go into the fire station? That might be a good idea. That's what I love. Like, sometimes you come up with ideas, but if you think about it long enough, you might actually change your mind and make it better. Anyway, let me get the supplies back over here and start working on this. And we are missing one of our lights. Did a creeper break that? Cat, they did. I thought so. Creeper broke the little light on this police vehicle. Creepers. Welcome back, and we've got our base structure for the traditional fire truck built up and ready to go. Super happy with that. And I love how it's just kind of on the outskirts of the city. So that's going to be kind of fun. And as I was getting the structure built here, I was really thinking about, the potential of half slabs and stairs in the concrete form in Minecraft. Because every time I start building a vehicle, I mention it. I think I've mentioned it in probably every video that I've built anything with concrete, especially vehicles, because I just truly believe that is the next frontier in building in Minecraft, is to be able to manipulate these blocks with color. Because with half slabs and stairs, that's how I feel. I feel like I'm kind of manipulating the blocks and changing them and crafting them in different ways to make what I want. And having the ability to have half slabs and stairs for concrete will completely change the game. And it's just, people are always asking me that. And I just truly believe that that is the next big kind of invention, or not invention, but the next big thing in Minecraft, because I could just imagine the incredible things you guys could create with half slabs and stairs in concrete. I mean, it could even be in terracotta. So if we even had those blocks in there, and I just realized I'm becoming one of those people. I'm calling it terracotta. Oh, hardened clay, you'll always be in my heart. You were there for me for so many years, and your name was changed, and it pains me inside that I keep calling it terracotta now. That's funny. I'm surprised I've actually adapted this quickly to calling it terracotta and not hardened clay. I don't even understand why they even changed it, but whatever. Anyway, so we got the front. This looks similar to the other fire truck a little bit. And this actually really looks like a semi truck at this point. But what we're going to do is we're going to start making changes at this point right here. So this is where the changes are going to be. This is not a ladder truck. This is maybe a pump truck, maybe? I'm trying to think of the technical term. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, I think this is the right term for it, I hope. So anyway, we're going to be building these pieces up and then kind of dropping this down and then running this out, you know, for supplies and things along those lines. Put that down like that. And yeah, look at that. Yeah, that is absolutely fantastic. It's going to be a little longer than I thought, so I'm just going to bring this back just a little bit more. And of course, we'll do our tires down below. But I think that's a good shape. So this is, of course, where the tools or the pumps and stuff go. And then this back section over here, this is where, you open up lockers and whatnot and get your tools and stuff out of the back. So I think that'll be really cool. Yeah, that's going to be a great shape. We just need to, change it and evolve the shapes. But man, could you even imagine having red half slabs? Like if this part right here was only a half slab, just think of the detail we can incorporate and not always be so reliant on quartz or stone, slabs and stairs. Really makes you think, doesn't it? Scarlandia now has another emergency vehicle. And one thing I realized is this entire city is made up of emergency vehicles. We got police cars, we got fire trucks, we're gonna soon have ambulances. We gotta balance it out with some non-emergency style vehicles. So help me with some cool futuristic car designs on Twitter, okay? So I wanna see that on Twitter this weekend. I wanna see your designs for vehicles. I know you guys have already sent me a bunch of them, but I need more. I need more inspiration. So look at this thing. This thing is looking super fancy. So let's pop over here. This was a last minute change that I made to the wheel well. I at least think it's called the wheel well. Is it called the wheel well? Remember we talked about how I don't understand technical terms for vehicles. So I think this looks a little bit nicer. I removed the half slab and replaced it with one of my favorite blocks. And that is the trapdoor. I guess it's not a trapdoor. Maybe it's a trapdoor. I don't know what the technical term is for that either. What am I even doing? Anyway, up here, I've got the mirror on this side. I think that looks pretty cool. I went with the gray, reason being is I wanted to stand out from the standard windshield and things along those lines. Got the lights up in the front and a little bit of redstone at the top as a siren. So I think that's looking very nice. And then we got our wheels down below. And I like the back. I think the back came out really nice. And just generally, I think it's just a decent design for a fire truck. So hopefully you guys like that. And let's fly on over to the fire station because it's time to start working on this area. So, thinking our really spider. Wow, look at you. Speedy McSpiderson over here. Look at that guy go. Wow. I don't know what your deal is. So that guy was super distracting. So let's see here. I think what we talked about before is putting my smaller, maybe command car, maybe this is the chief's truck or something along those lines, right here to kind of break up the driveway. Seriously, Spider, you're like super distracting. I don't want to kill you because I do like your speed. Okay, I just thought I heard a creeper. I'm getting really distracted by the mobs. So to break up this massive driveway that'll be going downwards, the question is, how do we do the driveway? It's like, I don't know, because we're going to have to kind of angle it downwards. We're going to have to wipe this entire section out, which was a ton of work. So that's kind of disappointing. But anyway, that's okay. We're building something super sweet. And then we got to do this area right here. I think okay. Hello there, Mr. Bob the Creeper Building Inspector. You got nothing on me. I got the power of 1,000 scars. That's right. Don't touch me. I was actually pretty happy with my reflexes there. Scar reflex champ right there. Look at that. Anybody else want this? Oh my gosh. Anyway, guys, so we got a lot of work to do. So what I'm going to do now and start chopping this thing out. So I'm going to take down the trees, sadly, and start removing all this. And then once we do that, then I think we'll be able to get a good idea on how this will all look. Welcome back. And as you can see, we chopped out a giant chunk of our landscaping, which is absolutely hideous. So we need to fix this immediately. And of course, the mobs are all back in there because you know me, greatest unintentional mob farm builder in the world. That is right. So what we need to do now is we need to put down a barrier, right? So I need to put something down. So when we put our concrete down, it has something to sit on. And what we're going to do is we're going to leave this section of green here. We'll do some plants and things like that. And I think that is how we're going to break up the kind of the hard, concrete concrete that will be down here and make it look a lot nicer, because I just don't want a giant gray strip going all the way down to the road. So I think that's going to be absolutely perfect. And of course, right in this section, this is where the Chief's car is going to go. And way over there, well, I was going to jump, but that's a bit too far for me. I'm still leaning towards keeping that tree. I don't think I'm going to take it out. I think I'm going to work on that pathway, and it's going to just go right around that tree, and it's going to be amazing. So when it comes to this thing, I guess we're going to have to do another crosswalk once we take out the road right here, or the sidewalk. So we'll just get some wet carpet and do those lines all the way across there, which I think is going to be very nice. As for this section, I think we'll just do a hedge, just a 2x2 hedge, keep one layer of green on either end, and it's going to be amazing. Oh, very excited about this. This thing is really, really coming together. Yeah, very excited. All right, let me work on that, and I'll be right back. Welcome back, and we now have our driveways installed and ready to roll here at the fire station, and this makes a huge difference. Like, look at the crosswalk here. I decided to leave, of course, some of the crosswalk in this portion right here, and then it drops down into the white painted lines. So I think that looks really, really cool. And working our way up here, I've done just a bit of landscaping, nothing too fancy, you know, installed some trees, some plant work here, and of course on this other side I've got a walkway going down to the street level, so I think that is looking really good. So now that the pathway connects to the door, you know, basic landscaping, lighting under the carpet, of course, and additional trees. Did I put another one? No, just this one and that one so far. As for the interior, I really want to put the Chief's car inside here, because I think it will help motivate me to work on the interior, you know, finishing it out, making it look like a garage, all of those type of things. So that's one option that I really do want to do, but it's also very scary in here, as you can tell. The other option, of course, would be put the Chief's car on the outside, like right here. So besides Jelly trying to get in my lap right now, which Jelly, I'm making a video. Yes, jump down. Could you hear her jump? Anyway, yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to put the Chief's car here or in there. What shall I do? And there we go. We've got 3 fire trucks complete and the landscaping in front of the fire station. The whole project today really brought in a whole new life to the city. I feel like having all these vehicles crisscrossing the streets, and of course, our brand new landscape with our fire truck inside of the garage. But let's take a look at this one first. We've got a zombie now driving it, because apparently all the firefighters are zombies and they got their turnouts on looking super fancy. They got the front lights on there. Now, I was thinking that I could put some item stands here, or item frames, and then put maybe axes and maybe helmets and stuff in this portion of it. But yeah, love that fire truck. Let's go take a look at the ladder truck now on the other side next to the spaceport. So we'll fly on over and dodging and weaving the trees. Loving it. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy with this one. This one is my favorite for sure, with the big ladder up there. We've got the zombie. Looks like he rolled down the window, you know, get a little breeze as he's cruising down the road. Got the nozzle at the top there, and man, I really like that. So let's look at the Chief's truck, which is in the interior of the fire station. But before we do that, we can get a look at all the cool little driveways that we built. Man, love it. I'm so glad we didn't just do a giant swap of gray concrete. Instead, we have these little planter beds in the centers, and that is looking super fancy. So we'll just break our way into the fire station, and there we go. We got our Chief's fire truck. Look at that thing. Another zombie ready to pull out of the station with the ladder up there. So it's kind of like a little truck. You know, it's got like a mini ladder on it. I still feel like I could put some more detail on here. Maybe like, I don't know if we could put some kind of water tank maybe in the back or something along those lines. I think could come out really cool. But oh man, I love these things. This is a really fun project. Vehicles, like I've said many times before, is they're really difficult for me. But if we can nail them, then it's really fun. And I think we potentially did that today. So yeah, if you made it to the end of the video and you think we nailed these fire trucks, hashtag nailed it. I want to see it in the comments. True Scars, put that in there. I want to see it. And yeah, really, really pleased with the progress today. And if you guys do want to see tutorials of these builds, you know how to let me know. Shoot me a message in the comments here or on Twitter. And until next time, this has been Good Times with Scar, and I always really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch my videos. And if you believe the videos are rating, that would be much appreciated. And until next time, we'll see you later. And don't forget to subscribe, because you may just become scarred for life.